ABC Sport welcomes you back to Albion Park in Brisbane, the speed pacing capital of Australia and venue for the 1993 Conrad Jupiter's Interdominion Pacing Championship. Good evening, I'm Jerry Collins, and tonight the final round of heats in the Interdominion Championship, and at the conclusion of tonight's heats we'll show you the point score for the 12 qualifiers for next Saturday night's grand final. And so to Heat 7 over 2,600 metres. And the field, Hilarious Gent from New South Wales, Rustic Lad from Queensland, Classic Albers a scratching, Almost an Angel from Queensland. Level Advice is a very quick starter, but whether he'll have the speed at the end will be important. Hilarion Star from Western Australia. Impressionist, and plenty of people are suggesting Teddy Demler can get up at least for a place in this. Jack Morris is the favourite for the final. Christopher Vance, a heat winner over a mile. Sogo from New Zealand, and the MC and Franco Glenn. Just having a look in the betting ring, and Hilarious Gent is at 25 to 1, Rustic Lad at 20 to 1, Classic Alba comes out, Almost an Angel at 200 to 1. Level Advice is at 16 to 1, so I think punters are suggesting that he may not be able to go the distance of the 2,600 metres. Hilarion Star at 25s, Impressionist at 7s, Jack Morris was at 7 to 2 on, and just going out a fraction, but is still well and truly in the red at 3 to 1 on. Christopher Vance reasonably well supported at 7 to 2, Sogo at 50 and 200 to 1, both the MC and Franco Glenn. And now for the call of Heat 7, George Grilliaset.
So a great race in store here in Heat 7. Christopher Vance is going to start from the outside of the front row, on the outside of Jack Morris, but the Western Australian champion is all the rage for Heat 7. As the starter Bob Cressy marshals the field and takes them over towards the back straight. The gross time of 3:14.6 is the record set by Run the Risk. Now they're approaching the start point, 2,600 metres. They're all pacing smoothly. Stand by, they're off and racing now, and on the inside, Hilarious Gent began fairly. Level Advice is customarily going quickly on the outside to take up the running. Jack Morris is coming across from the outside, and Hilarion Star is going to settle one out and one back in another splendid piece of driving by Chris Lewis. They were followed back on the inside in next position then by Sogo, which got up into a forward spot, followed by Almost an Angel, and further back behind them the MC on the inside, then Rustic Lad. Christopher Vance dropped back to be second last on settling down in a break of about 4 lengths to Franco Glenn. Around the home turn the first time, and Level Advice has been taken on by Impressionist, which has made a fast run on the outside, and Demler driving confidently here, and Impressionist has gone out 2.5 lengths from in second place Level Advice as they pass the judge with 2,000 metres left to run. Jack Morris is a neck back on the outside, and back on the fence Hilarious Gent. Hilarion Star is one out and one back, followed by Sogo on the inside of Almost an Angel. Rustic Lad rather, further back the MC, and they were followed then on the outside of that one by Almost an Angel. 1.5 lengths further back Christopher Vance, and 2.5 lengths to Franco Glenn. They go over towards the back straight now, and there's about 1,700 metres left to run. And Impressionist getting an easy run in front. A length off on the outside is Jack Morris, and just over a length further back on the inside is Level Advice. A neck back Hilarion Star, 1.5 lengths further back on the inside Hilarious Gent, followed by Rustic Lad. Then Sogo on the inside, a neck back on the outside is Almost an Angel, followed by the MC. Christopher Vance on its outside, and 2 lengths further back behind him Franco Glenn. 1:13.1 was the lead time to the mile, which means that they ran that section of the race in under a 2-minute bat. And Impressionist is the leader as they come around to the top of the straight, where they'll have 1,200 metres left to run. Jack Morris is moving up closer now to put on a bit of pressure. Only a neck behind the leader now as they swing into the straight to get the bell. And the first section of the last mile will come up shortly here, and we'll give you that as they come down inside the 1,100 metre mark. Where the leader is still Impressionist, the neck on Jack Morris pulling double on the outside, 30.3 for the first section. Level Advice is running third, Hilarion Star fourth, fifth on the inside, Hilarious Gent, then Rustic Lad, then Sogo, Almost an Angel on the outside of that one, then the MC. Further back on the outside, Christopher Vance, and the last one is Franco Glenn. As they get inside the 800 metre mark, and he's let Jack Morris go. Rod Chambers goes to the front on Jack Morris and quickly opens up 2 lengths. Hilarion Star's coming around the outside, running past Impressionist, followed by Rustic Lad. Level Advice in a pocket on the inside, followed by Hilarious Gent, and then Sogo on the inside of Almost an Angel. Further back, the MC, Christopher Vance, still second last, and 1.5 lengths to Franco Glenn. 29.5 the second section. They race off the back straight and past the 400 metre mark. Jack Morris has put a big space on them. He's about 4 lengths in front now. Coming after him is Rustic Lad with a strong run. He needs the points to get into the final. And 3 lengths, Hilarious Gent. And here's Christopher Barnes coming home around the outside. And the rest are headed by Hilarious Star. Less than 200 to go. And Jack Morris in full flight. 28.3 for that quarter. Comes down to the 100-metre mark, leading by 3 lengths on Rustic Lad, which has run a great race. Then Christopher Barnes, but it's all Jack Morris. Jack Morris wins 2.5 lengths, Rustic Lad. And 2.5 lengths back, Christopher Vance. 3 lengths, Hilarious Gent. Then a break of about 8 lengths further back to Franco Glen, followed by Level Advice, Almost an Angel, and Sogo. Hilarious Star weakened back out of it in the last 400. The MC is second last, and Impressionist, the early pacemaker, has dropped out to finish last. Jack Morris, a splendid performance. Rod Chambers going to the front with no trouble at all, going down the back straight and just shaking the reins at the horse at the closing stage of the race, and far too good for Rustic Lad, which has been the surprise packet. They've smashed the track record here with the race time of 3 minutes and 9.4 seconds. And Jack Morris will consolidate his position as favourite for the Interdominion Grand Final.
What a tremendous performance by Jack Morris, George, and he's only the first horse to win 2 heats so far in this Interdominion and a hot favourite for the final. Good run by Rustic Lad for second from Queensland, and Christopher Vance was third. And Jack Morris immediately made 5-4 favourite now for the final next Saturday night. So we move on to Heat 8, and let's have a look at the field. Captain Lee from Western Australia, Warrior Khan from Victoria is pretty well back. Lord Muckley from Victoria, Red Chip from New South Wales, Maker Fuse from Queensland. John Owen comes out. Number 7 is Defoe from New Zealand. Chokin, who's bound to be finishing strongly. In Sucher, Puppy McCoy, the Unicorn, and our favourite mare, Blossom Lady. Let's have a look at what the bookmakers are doing with this. Captain Lee at 80 to 1. Warrior Khan was showing at 9 to 4 and has just come in a little bit to 2 to 1. Lord Muckley at 33s. Red Chip at 100. Make a Fuse at 200 to 1. John Allen coming out. Now Defoe, again, the bookmakers not quite sure about this and has also come in at 2 to 1. Chokin at 9 to 4. In Sucher at 25s. Pappy McCoy at 200s. The Unicorn is a scratching, of course, and Blossom Lady just going out a fraction and is now at 3 to 1. Let's hope she can win it. Let's go to George Gulyasic.
Now the field for Heat 8 is moving up. Defoe is the horse under pressure here to gain points to get into the final. Defoe on 15 points at the moment, needs to run at least third to get up onto 26 and have a chance of getting into the final. 3 joint favourites for the race, a very open affair. Warrior Khan is back from the gate in the light blue colours at number 2. The blue light, they're off and racing. Captain Lee fired out quickly from the inside, but going very fast from the centre of the line and going up to take the lead is Red Chip in the early part. It's going to cross onto the fence, but Defoe has begun very quickly from out wide and is going to take up the running for Demler. And looking back at the rear of the field, Blossom Lady settled down second last, just ahead of Maker Fuse. As they come around the home turn the first time, it's Defoe, the leader, from getting up into second spot. On the outside is Chokin. They were followed then back on the inside in going around the field is In Sucher with a good run up round the outside. And it's going to give Chokin a trail. Captain Lee's running third horse back on the rail, followed by Lord Muckley. Then on the inside to Pappy McCoy, followed by Warrior Khan as third last. Second last on the inside is Maker Fuse, and the last one is Blossom Lady. So the race out of the straight with just under 2,000 metres left to run. And Defoe in front by 3/4 of a length. In Sucher sitting second on the outside. On the fence is Red Chip. They were followed by Chokin, one out and one back on the outside of Captain Lee. Then on the outside next, Lord Muckley with 3/4 of a length to Pappy McCoy. Blossom Lady's making a 3-wide run from the back of the field. The pace not all that fast. Warrior Khan second last, and a half a length on the inside is Maker Fuse. Down the back, they've just got over 1,600 metres left to travel. And Defoe is the leader. Demler up tempoed there, going past the mile markers. Blossom Lady's ranged up 3 spiders wide in the second spot. Red Chip is on the inside, and on the outside In Sucher. Then Captain Lee, followed over on the outside next of all by Chokin, now midfield. Then Pappy McCoy, which is racing on the inside of Warrior Khan. 2 lengths further back on the inside, Maker Fuse. And lobbing along on the outside of that is the last runner now. As they come around the turn, that's Warrior Khan. Racing towards the 1,200 metre mark. The lead time was 1 minute 17, so they've run it about 4 seconds slower than the previous heat. And Defoe being rated perfectly by that champion driver from Victoria, Ted Demler. He comes down to get the bell. 1,100 metres left to run. He leads by just over a length From on the outside, Blossom Lady. Red Chip third and fourth on the outside in Sucha, and fifth on the inside, Captain Lee. The first quarter of the last mile in 31.3. Centre field Chokin. Hooking out three wide, Lord Muckalee. Mike Force Chokin to go. Pappy McCoy next, and then they were followed by Warrior Khan. And the last one, Make a Fuse. Oh, a bit of interference there as one broke up and dropped back through the field in Sucha and caused interference to Chokin, which is just ahead of it now, and Warrior Khan. Into the back they go, and the leader is Defoe. Might be hard to run down. Leads by a length and a quarter to Blossom Lady. 31.3 for the second section. Running third on the inside is Red Chip, then Captain Lee, which got out into the one out, one back. Then on the inside to Pappy McCoy, Lord Muckalee, Make a Fuse. Further back, Chokin, Warrior Khan, three wide. And the last one is in Sucha. Inside the 400-metre mark they go, and Defoe is printed away. Defoe by a length and a half. Blossom Lady's coming hard now. Then on the inside, Red Chip. Captain Lee is fourth, followed back on the inside then by Pappy McCoy. Here's Chokin coming into the picture now after that setback at the 800-metre mark, but Defoe the leader. They ran that section in 27.9. Defoe in front. Here's Blossom Lady out of the web, but Defoe hanging on. Blossom Lady cutting it down, but Defoe, and Defoe wins. Just beats Blossom Lady. Captain Lee got up to run third in front of Pappy McCoy. Red Chip on the inside, Chokin wider out, and the widest one, a Warrior Khan. And 3 lengths back behind him, Make a Fuse, followed by Lord Muckalee. And in Sucha, which caused the trouble at the 800-metre mark, is last to finish. They've come home in 28.1, so the leader Defoe has run the last half in 56 seconds even. And Ted Demler going for the whip there, driving vigorously to stave off that grand staying mare, Blossom Lady. And Defoe has won it by about a head from Blossom Lady. And a terrific drive in front by Demler, who got away with 2 slow sections in the first 2 sections of the last mile. And Defoe will make the final.
Well, a close one, but victory to Defoe and a fantastic finish by Blossom Lady. Captain Lee finishing third. And if you're wondering just why we're showing so much interest in Blossom Lady, she's an 8-year-old mare and she's just so consistent and can't be counted out of the grand final next Saturday night either. By the way, there was a lot of money for Chokin late for that heat, and so disappointment for those people who got the money on because the interference gave him no chance at all. And so we move on to Heat 9, and looking at the field, Band Magic from New South Wales, Valley Champ from Western Australia, Anvil Lad and 2 under from New Zealand, We Own a Warrior and Admiral Chimes. Dark Paul has been very disappointing so far in this Interdominion. Barrel Boy, Westburn Grant, the defending champion, Master Musician, second in both heats so far, and Franco Tiger from Victoria. And looking at the prices, Grand Magic at 40s, Valley Champ at 50 to 1, Anvil Lad at 12s, 2 under at 5 to 1, and just a little bit of support for it coming into 9 to 2. We Own a Warrior at 12, Admiral Chimes at 100 to 1, Dark Paul 20s, Barrel Boy at 100 to 1, Westburn Grant just coming in a fraction to 9 to 2. Master Musician, well, once again is going to start in the red and is now 6 to 4 on for this heat, and Franco Tiger at 8 to 1. So now for the call of the final heat of the Interdominion, it's back up to George Grilic.
Thanks, Jerry. And there are 7 runners with 30 points or more. So there are 5 places left in the final field, and 6 of the runners in this race have a chance of going through. Westburn Grant, Master Musician and Franco Tiger look assured of places. But those ones that'll be battling for points here are Band Magic, 2 under, and We Own a Warrior. 11 runners in the field and all travelling well. Franco Tiger pulling very hard on the outside of the second row. The blue light, they're off and racing, and that's a very even start indeed. And going quickly now and going up towards the front from the centre of the line here. Looking for the lead shortly after start, We Own a Warrior. And as they leave the back straight, We Own a Warrior's got the front. Band Magic dropped in behind it, then Admiral Chimes, and going around them 3 wide is Master Musician early. They were followed further back by Westburn Grant, which is trapped on the inside a wall of horses. Anvil Lad's out 3 wide, just ahead of it, Valley Champ. They were followed by Barrel Boy back on the inside, and dropping out the last is Franco Tiger. In the home straight the first time now with just over 2 laps to run, and Band Magic has circled the field and gone round to hit the front from Valley Champ, the West Australian moving up in a second spot past the judge. We Own a Warriors trailing the leader. Anvil Lad's moving 3 wide around Dark Paul. They were followed then by 2 under, going up 3 wide around the outside of one in the centre there, Dark Paul, and on the inside to Westburn Grant. Franco Tiger's 3 wide on the outside of Admiral Chimes, and on the fence Barrel Boy, and Master Musicians drop back to the rear of the field. Going into the back straight, 1,700 metres to run. And it's Band Magic, the leader, by half a length on Valley Champ, with the length of the half back on the inside. Wiana Warrior. Anvil Lad is one out and one back now as they get inside the mile mark now. And there's not a great deal of pace in this race. There's one trapped out, 3 Spiders wide, 2 under racing without cover. Westburn Grant back on the fence on the inside there of Dark Paul. They were followed by Franco Tiger, 3 wide. Back on the fence, Barrel Boy, that Admiral Chimes, and 3 wide in last position is Band Magic. The lead time was 1:11.7. And as they come around towards the top of the straight here, they'll have 1,200 metres left to run. And Valley Champ is challenging Band Magic for the lead here. The driver might decide to go to the front, although Band Magic is kicking up now. Wiana Warrior running third on the inside. Over on the outside, Anvil Lad, 2 unders, 3 wide as they get the bell and come down to the judge with 1,000 to run. They ran the first quarter of the last mile in 29.5. Back in the middle of the field between horses, Dark Paul, Westburn Grant still barred up on the rail. Franco Tiger's out 3 wide on the outside of Admiral Chimes and Barrel Boy, and the last one still Master Musician, 3 wide. Going into the back, 800 metres left to travel here. And Valley Champ is really putting the pressure on a long way from home now. Puts his head in front of Band Magic. Anvil Lad third. And they come from the back of the field now. 2 unders accelerating 3 wide despite the hard run. Trapped behind runners, Wiana Warrior. Master Musicians come with a rush 3 wide around them. And they were followed further back in the field by Franco Tiger. Down the back straight they go. 500 to go. Franco Tiger's dashed up on the outside and taking the lead now from Valley Champ. Master Musician sets out after Franco Tiger. Back behind them, Anvil Lad. Wiana Warriors into the clear, and they were Dark Paul into the clear, then Wiana Warrior on the fence, and further back Westburn Grant now off the rail, threading his way through the field. Around the turn, 250 to go. Master Musician challenging Franco Tiger. They've got out by about 15 metres on Dark Paul, which is running on solidly. Then Valley Champ, and here's Westburn Grant down the outside, then Admiral Chimes past 100. Master Musician's taking the lead. Franco Tiger can't do any better, and Master Musician is, Westburn Grant flashing home, but Master Musician wins 3/4 of a length. Westburn Grant, a great run. 3 lengths back, Franco Tiger, then Dark Paul, then Admiral Chimes, and they were followed by Wiana Warrior, Valley Champ, the next one Anvil Lad, and then a break in the field to Barrel Boy, followed by 2 under, which did a power of work, and Band Magic is last to finish. 3 minutes 10.5, so the winner has recorded 1.1 seconds slower than Jack Morris, who ran a world record mile rate of 1:57.2 earlier. But Master Musician, a grand stayer from New Zealand, is back to the form that he showed in Melbourne recently when he won the Victoria and Hunter Cups. And look at Westburn Grant. He flew home on the outside. He must have been giving the 2 leaders the best part of 40-metre start with about just under 300 metres to run. And he's come home like a rocket.
Well, the punters finally got their money with Master Musician getting up at a tremendous finish by Westburn Grant, the champion, and Franco Tiger from Victoria was third. And so the heats are over, the battle's set to begin, and the grand final next week. There's the field. Jack Morris finishing on 45, and he broke the world record for the 2,600 metres tonight. A fantastic run, and is 6-4 for the final. Master Musician on 42, Christopher Vance, Blossom Lady, and Westburn Grant on 40, Franco Tiger on 35, Level Advice, Defoe and Chokin on 31, Warrior Khan on 30, Rustic Lad on 26, and Wiana Warrior on 24. So the stage set for the final next week, and of course we will have it on ABC television at 9:30, and that's live in the eastern states. Join us then for ABC Sport. I'm Jerry Collins.